You there, Michael?
Yeah, I'm here. You there?
I am in person.
All right. That you sound great today. Okay. I'm gonna
Oh,
let me get that number. Do you have that number? Have you seen it?
yeah, I have seen it. Let me look at it. It's oh, wait a minute. Was it there? Where was it? I saw it. Damn, I can't find. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I got it. 57882.
Oh, did you get it? Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your run so far, Michael.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, nothing's gonna be easy. That's for sure.
Oh, but you're making it look methodical. You're just playing a real smart game, and your defense has been exceptional.
Yeah, it's I think opposing teams are 2 for 22 on third down against me. It's the weirdest thing.
God, yeah, Paul hardly got into your territory, and that.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. The turnovers just absolutely crushed him.
Yeah,
So
it was kind of funny. I mean, that's an odd anomaly to have go one sided, but. I lost a retro league to Paul, a championship, not champion, playoff game. I lost four. I fumbled the ball four times and lost all four.
oh god.
So I
Well,
thought, well, Paul, turn around, a bear.
you hate to see a game like that. Autumn Winds championship last year. Remember that was the one that Tannehill threw like 5 or 6 interceptions. So I'm glad to see Montreal back in it and a chance for redemption. So that's going to be cool.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
excited to see.
Okay, we got the kickoff there, Michael.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm going to do color. You do the play-by-play. Now, what's interesting is my screen has frozen already. Do you see something on your side that looks like?
Just yeah, it's frozen at the kickoff. 15 minutes to play. Atlanta at their 35.
Do you want to send a note to? Let's see. Yeah, it froze. They're going to have to send out another number. I just saw a note from everybody. So while I'm setting this up, Duke, you want to set the stage here? NFC Championship, Cleveland and Atlanta.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns are, had a 13-3 record for the season, which is pretty impressive. That's Ed Carpenter coaching them, and then Anthony Tangora is coaching Atlanta in his third season with us at Autumn Wind, but he's a veteran coach, real analytical guy. He's been doing a great job in the broadcast when you don't do it, Michael.
Sure has.
So he's had really a wonderful season. Regular season, trying to think, was he? I think it was 11-5.
Correct.
So looking at over the stats, looks like Cleveland has got the passing of Joe Burrow is a little bit better than Geno Smith, but Atlanta tends to run the ball a lot more, and it's going to be a battle of the grinded out game with the big play game of Cleveland.
I looked a little bit at the numbers today to see the kind of season. Joe Burrow had the best quarterbacking season. He put the ball up almost 600 times this year. And usually when you look at something like that, because this is not a league that includes the dump off pass, so we probably throw flat pass a little more than, the other leagues like Ed Barrow's leagues. Actually, what was interesting that I noticed was Burrow's yards per attempt was 7.1.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty high. That doesn't look like the mark of a team that just throws flat passes again and again and again. So they're not afraid to throw downfield at all.
32 touchdowns and 6 interceptions for Burrow. It's pretty impressive.
Marvelous season. Yeah, absolutely.
And an Autumn Wind to hit 64.9% of your passes is outstanding.
Yep.
It's interesting to see he seems to use his tight end, Gerald Everett. He's got 115 catches for that guy and 957 yards. So I know Anthony's going to be looking at those numbers, and I don't think you're going to see Everett do that much. I'm going to be really curious to see how Anthony defends Everett because Ed seems to favorite him as his receiver.
Yeah, so let me set up the screen here. We're back in. Did you see the number by chance?
No, I haven't seen the numbers.
Let me go get it over.
Screen is still frozen for me.
Okay, let me grab that number for you. It's 10634.
10364.
No, 10634.
10634.
So while you're logging in, it's funny that you mentioned that because Gerald Everett actually got the first throw, and it was only a 2-yard gain. There's an off-tackle run for Montgomery. Defense guesses pass. It's wrong on Montgomery's card, and that'll be a pickup of 5. So now it's 3rd down and 3, ball at the 32-yard line. We're just a couple of minutes in to this NFC Championship game. Cleveland hosting. Ed Carpenter is the coach. He's 13-3 against Anthony, who is 11-5, and they won their wild card game. So now they are actually 12-5. We won't do the spoilers, but 3 of the games already have been played. We already know who one of these 2 teams will be playing in the NFC, and the AFC title already has been established. But we'll wait till toward the end of the broadcast so everybody gets a chance to watch this game. So it looks like Duke has joined, I think.
I tried, and I don't see anything on the.
Give it a second. I bet it'll pop up. It probably waits for like the next play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's strange. It's like, when I logged in the first time, it didn't even have the kickoff screen there, and then it just magically pops up.
Oh, so, yeah. Okay. Very good.
You see it now?
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay. So you've got your 2 tight end set, which is we'll have to talk about this during the game, how much experience you have with either one of these 2 teams. I've played both 3 times, as a matter of fact. Atlanta is in my division. And I think it's pretty funny that of the 4 teams in the NFC, 3 of them came from one division. It was a rough division that included Atlanta, Los Angeles, the LA Chargers, who had an amazing year at 13-3, but also Dallas, who, Mark is a terrific coach, and he's never going to go down without a fight. And he finished 8-8 with a team that might not even have been an 8-8 team. He's just such a good coach. And then the New Orleans Saints, who won the whole thing last year. Now, granted, they were rebuilding, but, another great coach. Basically, let's see, who is that Saint? Jean LaFleur.
Jean was great. Oh, he coached great.
Terrific.
I see the field, but I don't see any icons. It's not moving. There's no.
I think they're stuck again.
There's no player on the field.
They are. I just got a message. They're stuck again. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to close out the window again. They're having a little bit of connection problems. So they're going to do both of them are going to do a full reboot here. So while we're waiting, do you have experience with these 2 teams? Did you play them this year?
I played Anthony in Atlanta, and I think he beat me in a close game. I believe. It was early in the season, so I don't remember much about it.
Okay.
I don't think I played Cleveland. I could probably check.
Something else I noticed about Cleveland. I just could not believe this statistic. I believe they were 46% on 3rd downs.
Impressive.
That's remarkable. I mean, so I have experience with both of these teams. Of course, I played Atlanta twice because they're in my division. I beat him the first time. I think it was 17-7, and then I think he beat me maybe 17-10 in the follow-up game, and I just could not get anything going offensively against him. The Cleveland game was really weird. Our team was just clicking, and for whatever reason, Joe Burrow must have had a flu that day because he was not great. Threw a pick. We beat them 38-13. It was
No, I take it back. I did not play either one of these
Oh,
teams.
so you don't have experience with either one. Got it.
Yeah. No, I played Anthony in other leagues, and I think I played him last year. So I kind of know, he is as analytical as they get,
Yep.
and he does as much scouting and preparation for his game as anybody I've ever known.
Yes, he does.
Very detailed. He knows all the. I don't know where he gets those league statistics from, Michael, but boy, he's got access to stats that I just never see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, he is a credit to this league because he's shared a lot of this information. It's not like he's keeping all of this to himself. I've listened to him in broadcasts, and he's going to be an asset to this league moving forward, no doubt. And his broadcasts also are really good. And we've had some great additions here these last few years. Ken Briere, great guy.
Speaking of the coaches in the league, Michael, this over the years now, to the point where it's at now, every league I've played in, there's always some weak spots. I'll tell you, I don't see any weak spots in terms of coaching, general managing. This is an outstanding league, and it's really a pleasure to be a part of it, because I've been playing the Strat-o-matic football game since 1967. So I have a little experience with it, and I'm telling you, this is remarkable. The level of coaching we have, and I think it just gets better and better, Michael. And you're a wonderful addition, because so much interest you add to the league with your broadcasting skills, and now you're a top flight coach with a good team. It's great to have you aboard, Michael, and you're really enhancing the league.
Well, I appreciate that, but if it weren't for the people who started this league years and years ago and kept it going now for basically 50 years in different versions, obviously, computer for 20 and board for more than 20. And I know you all talked about playing a different board game back in the late 60s before you all hooked up with Strat-o-matic. I think the reputation is such that, getting into this league, you need a little bit of a pedigree and a little bit of credentials and a little bit of stick-to-itiveness. They don't want flighty coaches here. They want people who are going to be here for the long haul. So I because I've seen other leagues that have had, maybe just a little bit of a struggle with, getting coaches when there are openings, and they're kind of blow-ins. Basically, they're not going to be here for very long. You don't know whether or not their commitment is here. But I think the people who have joined, especially these last 10 years, they look like they're here for the long haul.
And I think the primary credit to the foundation and the founder of this league, Larry Davis.
Absolutely.
He's got support from Paul Mankiewicz, but really, Larry, it was his concept of this league, and he's run it a little bit different in other leagues, a lot stricter, a lot more attention to detail. And I know he's had some real serious physical problems the last couple of years. Hope to see him back, but the legacy of this league, and you respect that so much, Michael, because you understand that Jim Riley and his brother started this and brought on Paul Mankiewicz and Rick Byron's along with Larry Davis and Larry's brother, who I knew, Alan Davis. That's the founders of this league, but this is Larry's baby. But boy, without the support of Paul Mankiewicz, nothing happens in these leagues, Michael.
100%. I agree with you, 100%. They've given a number, so it is easy to remember. It's 10-100.
Hit join server or watch game?
Watch game, 10-100.
10-100. Okay. Okay, now I see some players here, Michael. Okay, looks like we've got a 1st and 10, and it looks like Atlanta is now at the 46 of Atlanta, and it's a short pass to McLaren. They keyed Hundley, and it's a 12-yard pickup at first down at the Atlanta 34.
So on that previous play, he hit Everett on a 15-yard reception. And I think that is his second or third catch. And what's interesting is you called it before the game. Everett has 115 catches this year, which is an inordinate amount of catches. He's also being guarded by a 6. That's the Honey Badger who's on him, throughout the game, but he's already gone to him several times. So he's not intimidated by the fact that he's guarded by a 6.
And there's a run, and the guard makes the block for a 4-yard gain. So 2nd and 6. Yeah, this is going to be fascinating because with a 6 on him, Michael, you'd think you wouldn't double team as much, but I want to see what Anthony does because he knows the statistical background here. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see how he defends Everett. We got 2nd and 6 now with Montgomery, the single setback and 2 tight ends. Adams split to the left and McLaren to the right. 11:24. We're just getting started here. There's a look in. There's Everett. Was a 4 there in zone. Primary guardian is a 6, and it's only a 2-yard pickup.
What's kind of interesting about this, Everett also is a blocking back, could be a blocking back basically. So you would think that with that many catches, he would be taking advantage of that running back, blocking back formation. So he would potentially I think he would be guarded by a 4. I think, instead of a 6. We'll see if they're in that formation. I can't remember which linebacker gets the fullback in that I formation. I thought it was the left linebacker gets the blocking back. I'm pretty sure it is, and that would be a 4 instead of a 6, but he's opting to go with the 2 tight end set. He's not much of a blocker either on the line as a 0, so just kind of interesting.
Anthony's showing the blitz here on 3rd and 4. He's got 2 4s at the linebackers and the 6 at right outside linebacker.
45-yard field goal from here.
Oh, an open zone as he throws a flat pass to Adams. It's just gets right, and the 4 yards picks up the first down.
That's the nice flexibility of having a 6. A coach a lot of times is intimidated to throwing toward that zone. You don't get the benefit of the white die 6, and you're at the mercy of a defensive card that I believe Anthony has a very good defense to begin with, so not a lot on that D card. So Anthony can move that 6 in because the other coach doesn't know if he's moving him in or not. So he does have some flexibility there.
There's an off tackle, and Anthony stuffs the zone. And that's going to be stuffed there as the end can't make the block, and it's 2nd and 10. Interesting, the cat and mouse game you play with a short yardage situation. He throws at the 6, and of course that's the most likely one for Anthony to abandon, which he did. Mm-hmm. But then here we are at 2nd and 10, just getting started here. First quarter, Cleveland driving now in Atlanta territory. 2nd and 10 at the 24. Blitz shown again by the Falcons. It's off tackle with Hundley. There's 2. The run zone's covered, but it's on the runner's car, and he picks up 5. We're going to have a very interesting 3rd and 5 situation. Cleveland Browns, coached by Ed Carpenter, and the Atlanta Falcons by Anthony Tandora.
So I'm looking at the line. Collins is the right tackle. He's only a 3 on the pass block, and Jerry Hughes, who's a 10, is on the outside. Their center is only a 2, and he has Hargrave, which is that 12 asterisk, basically. So he's hoping on one of those blitzes that he'll catch some luck here and maybe get Hargrave or maybe get Hughes on the outside. So there's potential sack opportunities.
Good observation, Michael, because he's going to take advantage of that the weakness of the pass blocking, and we're going to see a lot of blitz here. 3rd and 5, and he's showing blitz. Montgomery's the lone setback. See if we see a draw play, maybe. No, it's short pass to McLaren. Atlanta was double teaming Adams, the other wide out. He's got a 4 on him. He's got a defender rating. Oh, but he makes the play with the 4.
Wow.
And 4th down. I think we'll see a field goal here. Tyler Bass. Oh, and he misses it. Oh my, misses
Oh,
field goal 2 through 9 and 12. Oh, ouch for the Cleveland Browns. And now the Falcons take over at their 26-yard line.
I noticed this morning when I was looking at Cleveland Brown statistics, whenever you get that statistical report from Strat-o-matic, it's a bit of an anomaly because if you look at his card, it's basically 10 and 11 missed, but I believe he missed 3 from 30 to 39 this year, so it comes back to bite him again. So a long drive thwarted.
Oh, there's the bomb to Hilton, and it just goes between some two nice numbers, and it's a second down as Anthony and the Falcons just come back with a big bomb by Geno Smith to start off at the 26-yard line. That sometimes, from the coaching standpoint, Michael, is trying to send a message that don't think we're going to play just little ball here.
Agreed. So Cleveland plays a 3-4 and literally does not have anything on the front line that I can see that's going to be much of a pass rush. So I can't imagine them blitzing. I think Cleveland's just going to have a strategy today of 4 in the linebacker zone so they can flood any of those 3 flats and using that free safety to double team. But Anthony's already sending a message. If you start moving that free safety up to flood or to double team and you get the wrong guy, I'm not afraid to go deep.
Breece Hall just took advantage of the nose tackle and got a first down, and now we got a short gain on the flat pass to Komet for 15, and now the Falcons on the move at the Cleveland 47-yard line after they've taken advantage of a missed field goal by Cleveland. First down. Harris, the lone back. Komet and Stoll, the tight ends. Hilton split wide right. Bateman wide left. And there's another bomb to Hilton, and there's nobody out there, and he must runs for 5 yards. Whoa! The Falcons opened it up here as 2 bombs to Hilton, and Cleveland has got to be a little aware now.
Sneaky little pickup for Hilton. Not much value to him at all, except one thing, and that's as a deep target. If I remember correctly, he was a 5 of 6 deep. So that's a nice pickup. Just somebody to have out there just to make sure, hey, you move your free safety and you're going to get punished. Plus, he's guarded by a 4.
Yep.
So I don't think that'll be the last time we see that.
And another must run, and this time he gets 10 yards. That's the 3rd bomb the Falcons have thrown to Hilton. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That is a definite message by Anthony. He's going to make him – now I think Bateman on the other side might be somebody he can go to because Ed's got to be looking. And there's a flat pass right to Bateman just as I speak, and a possible pick, but it's incomplete. Whoa, 2nd and 10.
So interesting. He picks on the 6 there in the left flat zone. So, if he's going to continue to throw deep, I think that Anthony is thinking, although you would think it'd be counterproductive to double with a 6, but maybe that's what he's thinking instead of moving that free safety over, but he left him at home.
Yeah, like I said, he's got to start thinking about that. So looking past the Komet, guessed right, incomplete. Now we're going to have a 3rd and 10 at the 32. Let's see how. Right now, it looks like a 3 wide receiver set with Breece Hall, the lone setback with behind Smith. Interesting strategy by the Falcons. Very interesting. You got a 3-3-5 defense by the Browns. 3rd and 10 from the 32. And he's beats the defender for 11 yards and a first down. You there, Michael?
Yes, right here.
Okay. 1st and 10, 21-yard line. Flat pass right to Komet. The 6 is out there. Defender rating gets on the card and possible fumble. No fumble. 6 yards. inside the red zone, Cleveland's 15-yard line. Falcons 2nd and 4. Harris now a single setback with a blocking back. No, we're going to go with a double tight end again. 2nd and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Nice drive by Cleveland or by Atlanta so far.
Now Anthony has a grinder in Najee Harris, and it would be awfully tempting to put Breece Hall out there, but he runs with Harris a lot actually and preserves those carries, especially for the second half for Breece.
It's the first down on a flat pass to Kmet going against the 6. Now he's inside the 10. 1st and goal for the Atlanta Falcons. Just getting started here. First quarter. Autumn wind playoff.
So the flat pass is taken out of play here.
Full house backfield. Let's see if the Falcons are trying to deke him and may go with a first down pass. But they go end run to Breece Hall. There's a 6 out there playing, but he gets on the – and there's a short gain, and we're going to have our first score here, Michael, as –
a very nice drive that traveled 74 yards. Very effective drive. Helped out by a couple of runs by Geno Smith and a 3rd down conversion to Sammy Watkins. So Atlanta draws first blood with 6. Let's see if they hit the extra point. And they do. And so the Atlanta Falcons, following that missed field goal from the Browns, has taken the early lead here, 7-0. Let's see if Cleveland can answer.
Breece Hall around the end for 8 yards, first score. Did you have that prop, Michael?
Good point. No, he loves to preserve Breece Hall in the games that I've played with him. He kind of saves him for the second half, but no time like the present. And he's going to have an excellent card next year too. So.
First down, Cleveland at their 33. And it's an off tackle by Hundley. Yes, wrong with 4 yards. 2nd and 6.
So Atlanta plays with a 4-3, and you can see those 4s all up front. Nothing scary about that. So, and a matter of fact, of their front 7, there's only 1 6. Everybody else is a 4. So maybe Ed turns off Joe Burrow here just a little bit and decides to run and try to force his hand.
Interesting. We'll watch that. Could be a strategy. A looking pass to Jelani Woods here on 2nd and 6.
There's a 4 there.
Oh, and we get the 11-yard pickup, possible fumble. No fumble, first down, Cleveland at their 48.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting in the real NFL Super Bowl. It's going to be interesting to see if San Francisco takes advantage of the run defense weakness with the Chiefs.
Absolutely.
There's a pass for 7. Because, what it looked like Baltimore didn't do against the Chiefs was take advantage. They only ran the ball 7 times. And let's see if Ed Carpenter and his Cleveland team takes a look at the somewhat weakness of Atlanta's front 7 with 6 of them being 4s and tries to run and flat pass a little bit more than they used to. So there's the Bond to McLaren on 2nd and 3. Gets past, but there's nobody back there in the long pass zone.
He called a blitz, but this is an X, so it's not going to matter, and he's going to hit it.
28 yards. Nails that 3. Down to the 17-yard line, Atlanta. 1st and 10, Cleveland. Montgomery, a single setback. 2 tight ends. Falcons showing blitz. And they're coming with the blitz.
Mm-hmm. And they've pretty much consistently called it throughout the game.
Flat pass, Everett, and there is nobody there. Nine-yard pickup. Inside the 10 at the 8-yard line, 2nd and 1 for Cleveland. Trail 7-0, and we're going to move on to the second quarter here in Cleveland. Hundley, the setback, 2 tight ends again. Adams and McLaren split wide.
That's 4 catches already for Everett.
Wow. 115 on the season and 4 already. That's something else. Once again, Falcons showing blitz. They're aggressive. They're going to try to take advantage of that. I would suspect the Falcons to guess pass with the blitz because the 1 yard's going to be picked up either way, very likely. Cleveland thinking very hard and throws a short pass. Let's see if they can avoid the sack. They were double teaming Everett.
Wow, double teaming him even if he's guarded by a 6. How about that?
Yeah, there we go. There's a touchdown for Cleveland. Anthony says nice drive, and Ed corresponds with Glacius.
Hit the sniper scope there.
Yeah. Kind of wasted 78 yards, but good for 8.
Yeah. He'll chart that one away for later.
Yeah.
But a good answer drive there for Ed Carpenter.
Excellent response. Atlanta now takes it back 25 yards to the 27, 1st and 10, 14-24 play in the first half. Fascinating matchups here now that I see it unfold, Michael.
Yep.
Sure pass to Komet. Oh, possible pick, and it is picked. Cleveland steps in front. Let's see what happens on the return. 15 yards. Atlanta takes over at Cleveland takes over at the Atlanta 27, 1st and 10. Montgomery, the lone setback. Falcons showing blitz again. Big turnover here in the second quarter.
That was Isaiah Simmons on the interception. He only had 1 during the regular season. He was the former super high draft pick of the Atlanta Falcons, the Arizona Cardinals. Kind of fell out of favor. I believe he's got linebacker and corner ratings as well. So
9-yard pickup, possible fumble. No, it's not. And it's 2nd and 1. And Cleveland again in the red zone, 2nd and 1 at the 18 of Atlanta. Hundley still back there. Still have Everett and Woods at the tight ends. Showing blitz again, though. The Falcons just constantly trying to pressure Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Look in Adams. There's a 4 there. Defenders a 6, but there we got the 7-yard pickup on the dump off. And it's a 1st and 10 now at the 11-yard line. Cleveland driving again. 1st and 10, another first down blitz call by Atlanta.
It was a white die 6 reading. Had it been a regular reading, it would have been a 3-yard pickup.
Oh. Hundley still back there by himself behind Burrow.
Burrow 12 of 13 for 125 yards.
12 of 13. That's pretty nice. They're keen Hundley, and it's off tackle. Good aggressive call, and this is going to be a -1. Falcons key correctly. The 2nd and 11 at the 12. Hundley had 184 carries for 1,052 yards, a 5.7 average. Kind of a unusual back to have those kind of big numbers.
Mm-hmm. But I guess with Burrow, you're going to get more pass calls than run.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, that's
and also, if you look, Ed's line is phenomenal up front, so you're going to get the benefit of the doubt more often than not when you have 5.5s.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive front line there. 3-3-5 with a blitz showing, and Cleveland comes out with 3 wideouts, Dotson joining Adams and McLaren.
This is definitely a pass because that's a tight end in the backfield.
Jelani Woods, short pass. Let's see if they can keep Burrow safe, and it's a must run for 7 yards, bringing a 3rd and 4 at the 5-yard line. This is going to be an interesting call, Michael.
Very, very. Especially, now let's see if Anthony, what he does with the nose tackle.
Yeah, let's see. That's a good point.
So, no, he's going to go back to the 3-4. He doesn't put his 0 nose tackle out there, but still 4-4-4-4. There's definitely vulnerabilities out there. Now he has replaced.
He's put the second pass rusher in there at a defensive end.
Fowler, only a 7. But I think he thinks that's more valuable than a 0. But he's up against a 7, so you don't think there's going to be too much of an impact there.
It doesn't look like he's showing blitz yet. 3rd and 4 at the 5-yard line. 7-7 tie. Cleveland takes advantage of interception. 3-3-5 defense for the Falcons.
Okay, so he did go 3-3-5. So there's that nose tackle 0 in there again.
Yeah.
Up against a 5. But it's not going to be a run because, again, he's got that tight end set in there. So it's 3 wide with the tight end. So this is going to be a pass unless it's a must run.
Could
so
try
a correct double team could negate that.
Could try a linebacker with a quarterback Burrow,
Could.
But that you're identifying that 0 nose tackle is very significant. Let's see how this is played. But it's a short pass to Jelani Woods. They're double teaming Everett and McLaren, the Falcons. Let's see what happens here. Possible pick, but it's incomplete. Bring about a 4th and 4, and I'm thinking field goal here with Bass. Tyler Bass has missed one. Makes this one, though. And Cleveland takes advantage of the turnover and takes the 10-7 lead.
I think once Anthony realized that he went with the 3 wide blocking back set, and of course Woods couldn't run, the only option for running there would have been a Burrow linebucker. And so that's probably why he opted to spread the defense and put Hargrave in there. But if you looked, Hargrave was basically wide open in the middle. There was no support. So a Burrow linebacker could have taken place.
Yeah, I was surprised at that 3 wide outlook with 4 yards to go. Now we get a 4-yard pickup for Najee Harris, 2nd and 6.
Harris had 273 carries this year for Atlanta.
1,417 yards. A lot of yardage there on the ground for Harris.
Mm-hmm. And Hall had 139 carries, so this club rushes the ball 25-plus times a game.
Yes, they do. They really favor the run. Another off tackle by Harris. 4 yards there, bringing about a 3rd and 2. And once again, Atlanta's thrown 3 bombs to Hilton in the first quarter, so even on 3rd and 2, he might have put something into Cleveland's mindset here. Third down 2. Atlanta 33-yard line. This is relatively big play in the first half. End run, guess right. It's on the and he doesn't get it. He gets stopped 4th and 2, 33-yard line. Cleveland called correctly. Atlanta punts 52 yards downfield. Cleveland takes it at the 15 and gets 10 yards out to the 25-yard line. Cleveland held there. Take over the ball with 9 minutes to play in the second period. 10-7 Cleveland. Falcons show blitz again. 2 tight end set with Hundley at the back. There's the Bond to McLaren. The pass gets right, but there's nobody in the long pass zone.
And it's an X, so it's not going to be a pass rush situation, so he'll avoid that.
And it's the defensive, and he's beaten for a long gain, 86-yard touchdown, 75 yards.
Wow.
Oh, my. McLaren gets loose as the Falcons bring in the free safety, and Burrow takes advantage. Extra point good, and it's all of a sudden 17-7 Cleveland over Atlanta.
So again, Anthony brings the heat, but the black die is an X, and that's the only reading that won't get to that pass rush reading. And I can't be for sure, but I believe when he threw that other bomb that was on Joe Burrow's card, I think that was an X reading as well. Not quite sure, but that's a couple of times now where there's been some big plays that unfortunately hit on the black X. So
I think that one other one, he hit that 3 on the 28-yarder on Burrow's card.
And I believe that was a black X there too. So the pass rush didn't mean anything on either one of those.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Anthony has a very good pass defense there with a 4 on the outside, but I think that Milano put them over the top. So they've got linebackers basically with 2, 2, and 3. That's 7. So they needed 19 on the back end to get to 26. So it's interesting to see a very good pass defense with a 4 there on the outside. He was burnt on that play. It didn't matter on Burrow's play. The real issue has been the blitz has not affected Joe Burrow yet.
Keen observations, Michael. 3rd and 5.
Brees Hall. The fact that you're doing the play-by-play is helping me look at this game a little bit better.
I like the way we do this, Michael.
Me too. It's just way, way better. Way better. I get behind on these calls, and I'd love to look at reasons why stuff happened, but you can only call by play-by-play. So having your voice here makes a huge difference.
No, and I think that makes it more interesting for the audience there because your insights. When you're doing the play-by-play, you don't have a chance to kind of think that way. So it's perfect call. 3rd and 5 here. Short pass to Watkins. There's the receiver card, but it goes blank, and it's a 3 and out for Atlanta here. 7-12 to play in the first period. The punt goes 49 yards to the Cleveland 20. And the return is nothing. 6:54 to go. And now Atlanta has to think in terms of, holding the fort here for the first half, 17-7. Hundley with the 2 tight end set, Woods and Everett, Adams and McLaren split wide. So look into Everett with the 4 there in the center. But it's a blank and incomplete from Burrow to Montgomery, 2nd and 10.
So Burrow now is, 13 of 16 for 200 yards. And in autumn wind, a 300-yard passing game is almost as rare as a perfect 300 in bowling. I mean, it is it's so hard to get one of these. But with Burrow throwing for 4,000 yards, I wouldn't be surprised that he had a few of these this year. Mahomes, who's among the elite quarterbacks, and he runs my team, didn't come close to 300. For us, a 200-yard game would have been exceptional for him. So he's well on his way to having an elite game.
The Falcons aggressively keyed correctly for -2 yards.
Second time in the game. Great call from Anthony.
Excellent. 3rd and 12 now. Let's see how bold Ed is going to be with his 3 wideouts. Adams goes to the slot. 3rd and 12. On these plays, do you take a look at your quarterback card, Michael, and see how many +12s he has on the guess right column?
Yes, I shall.
Yeah. Because that almost tells you if the guy's going to dare throw a bomb 3rd and 12. 7. I'm expecting something more conservative.
The 2 and the 3 are less than 12. Everything else, completion-wise, would get him a first down.
It's a short pass to Adams. He's got a 6 on him. Nobody double-teaming him. He double-teamed Dotson and McLaren. Let's see what Burrow can do. Be interested if we see his card and your analysis. But, it's a possible fumble. It is. And let's see who recovers it. It's the defense.
Yes, sir.
Atlanta gets a break, but it's set up by some really good calling by Anthony.
Let's see who got that sack. And that's why, look, he's been burnt on the safety blitz a couple of times. This time he gets to him. And it's Jerry Hughes. So he hit that vulnerability. He's got a tackle 2 on the right, and Hughes is a 10. And so with the bump on the safety blitz, he gets to him. And not only that, but he causes the turnover, a short field. So Atlanta's more likely than not going to have the opportunity to cut into this lead by at least 3, maybe 7. So a short field set up by that safety blitz. That's why you can't lay off of it.
Linebacker Harris gets 8 yards inside the 10 now. 2nd and 2. And once again, Michael, good analysis. That really, kind of frames what we're going through here with 4:48 to play in the second quarters. Mm-hmm. 2nd and 2 at the 6-yard line, full house backfield for the Falcons. Got to think they're going to run it here. Linebacker Harris, guess right. Defensive card.
Cleveland has a good run defense and a good pass defense, but they're not able to make the play there. So there's your first down, ball at the 4. Now, what's interesting here, let's see how much time Atlanta can chew off the clock. They're going to get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. So it looks like they're going to slice into this lead.
Does look that way. There's Harris again for no gain, guessed right. So it's still goal from the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal.
That was it's 2nd down. They got that first down, so now it's 2nd and goal.
Oh, I'm sorry. 2nd and goal. No.
But, again, there goes 30 more seconds off the clock. Anything that they do here is going to trim off some clock here from Cleveland's potential drive to answer to what inevitably is going to be a score. Inside run.
Harris, nose tackle, makes the play. And it's 3rd and 4 now. Let's see what the Falcons set up here. They're set from the 4-yard line. That's a long way to run it, don't you think, Michael?
Right.
He's got the full house backfield in there, so it's a possibility of maybe Breece Hall around the end. What do you think?
Got him 1 touchdown already. I bet you there's going to be a throw here. There's no pass rush. Cleveland has a non-existent pass rush. If he doesn't double team the right guy, Geno Smith has the chance to walk this in.
That would be probably the commit if he does throw it. 3rd and goal, 4-yard line. 77, 3 minutes to go in the first half. Fascinating game so far.
Mm-hmm.
Third and goal, and it's an end-run haul. The zones are covered, but it gets on the card and Hall rolls in for the touchdown. And with the extra point, we're going to have a 3-point game, Michael.
Good call, Duke. So a short field set up by the first sack of the game. Jerry Hughes, again, from that safety blitz, the vulnerability of that right tackle. I think it's a 2 or a 3. We'll look at it.
A squib kick. Interesting.
He's done that throughout the year.
Oh, okay. But you know that the sack, yes, but it was set up by the second down key call that made it 3rd and 12.
Correct. That pushed it behind the sticks. Absolutely.
So there's enough time on the clock. There's a look-in pass to Montgomery. Guessed wrong as a run call. Only 2 yards. That's a tough roll. 2nd and 8. Now it's a 2-minute warning. Both teams have 3 timeouts left. So if the Falcons can hold here, they got a really good chance to get another score and then take the kickoff in the 3rd period. So a big momentum changer here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say this is a pretty important 2nd down, 2nd and 8. 2 tight ends, Huntley the back. Three, 5. Defense.
Yeah. And look, he's got 2 zeros there on the right, along with Jerry Hughes. So they're all pass rushers.
Yeah, he's inviting them to run, isn't he?
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? He's not calling blitz here, and yet he has his pass rushers out. So here's an off-tackle run, takes advantage of it, and picks up 20.
Got the brackets there. Out to the 38-yard line. 1st down, Cleveland. All 3 timeouts left. That's a big changer, that 1st down.
Yeah, I'm sure Anthony's probably kicking himself there. Let's see if he's going to go back to his base or if he's going to continue with his 3-3-5. Now, if he goes back with his 3-3-5, it wouldn't surprise me if he throws the blitz back on again. It's just interesting to load up your line with essentially pass rushers and then not call blitz. And it looks like he's got his 4 over there, which, again, what kind of a difference between a 4 and a 0, obviously. But Hargrave's back out there with that 0. He has 3 timeouts left, so he can still run here.
Flat pass to Everett. 1st down call. It's on the quarterback card. Loses 1. 2nd and 11.
Again, Burrow, terrific first half, 201 yards, 15 of 18.
But only a 3-point lead for Cleveland.
So each team has had a turnover, an interception on one side that led to a touchdown, and a fumble that led to an Atlanta touchdown. So each club has capitalized on the lone turnovers of this game.
Flat pass again to Montgomery, but there's 2 men there this time looking for the quarterback card. Got it. Receiver, 8 yards. That's a big play.
Interesting that Cleveland, seeing that Atlanta isn't blitzing, isn't throwing downfield just a little bit more.
Yeah.
That very good flat pass card isn't great. You can land on a 7, 8, and 9, but past that, you're not going to make much. And certainly if you flood that flat, and there is the possibility of doing that, you run the risk of an interception. So without a safety blitz, I'm curious as to why they're just not pushing it downfield.
Interesting thought here. What do you think about a flat pass to where the 6 is? Now he goes with linebacker Montgomery.
Yeah, I like that call.
Double team McLaren. Yeah, this is gets on the.
Oh, we ran into the dreaded 5. Yes, sir.
The dreaded 5. Oh.
Well, you know what, though? Fortunately, they made their way to midfield, so it's not going to leave Atlanta a lot of time left. Basically, they're going to have it with a minute and should have a pretty lengthy field.
Yeah. Oh, very interesting play. Gill the punt.
Right call there. 5 and a 6 was the only rolls on Montgomery's card that would have. Anything else would have gotten them a first down.
Atlanta's back at their 14-yard line. Minute to play. They have 2 timeouts left. They're going with a standard set, but Breece Hall, of course, has got some big numbers on his run card. I think we're going to see the Falcons run Hall a couple of times here, especially now 3-2-6. It's guessed wrong automatically.
Oh, that's just inviting a run there.
Yeah.
And Cleveland, again, doesn't blitz. There's your pitch. That's the right call.
Oh, unlucky roll.
Yeah, D card. He gets out of bounds.
Yeah, because would be automatic with me. I'd run Hall.
Yep. He has 9 unfatigued carries left.
And the 3-2-6 defense again. I'd run Hall again.
He's got short gains on 3, 7, and 9, and on the outskirts a 24 on a 2. There's your short gain.
Your short gain. That was like a gimme. Out to the 30-yard line, 52 seconds to play.
Yeah, they'll call timeout here, so it'll go 45.
Yeah, with timeout, it's 45 seconds to play.
You know, though, Duke, if you think about it, so 45 seconds left, deep in their own territory. Maybe Ed is thinking, okay, run Hall, go right ahead, start burning his carries. What do I care? I mean, he's going to hit short gain every other time. But if he can knock off 3 or 4 carries and only give him 4 for the second half, that's unfatigued. Maybe he's willing to give that up.
No, that could be the thought process. Yeah, and there is something to say. There's a flat pass to Hall. Interesting. Oh, an interception chance, incomplete.
Oh, mercy.
Whoa, that could be a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and counter to that, maybe Anthony was thinking, God, I can't waste all of Hall's carries here with a chance of just getting the field goal range. So it's a real cat and mouse here.
Yeah.
37 seconds, 2nd and 10. Atlanta still has a timeout left. They're still going with a standard set with 2 tight ends. And there's the look-in pass to Hall, which is wide open at 30 yards. What a call by Anthony as he takes advantage of the aggressive, leaving the look-in zone open, and Falcons move into Cleveland territory at the 40. Whoa.
Yeah. Interestingly, that was a white die 6, so it would have been 30 either way. But again, he took advantage of the wide open spot, basically. So either way, he would have gotten the benefit of that, but he even got the double benefit, the fact that it was a white die 6. But he certainly moved himself into field goal range now, 57 on the outskirts, basically.
30 seconds to play with no timeouts left for the Falcons. Standard set again. And a 3-4 defense by Cleveland. Short pass to Bateman. Defender rating 17 yards. Oh, my. What a drive by the Falcons here.
And he gets out of bounds, too, so he doesn't have to take a timeout. So he's
down to the 20-yard line. What do you think about a bomb to Hilton here?
I don't know. I think at this point you're probably playing for a field goal, and I don't think that you run Hall here either because there's no gain. Well, there's one. There's an end run that he potentially could get it on 24. There's a 24, I believe, on his end run card, but he's got to get out of bounds. If he doesn't get out of bounds, the next play is going to have to be a field goal. From here, it's basically 40. I think he tries another short pass, especially now that it looks like there's only 3 in the zone. He'll probably double team with that 5.
Even a look. I was just going to say a look-in pass. He got unlucky on the dump off, but he got 7 yards out of it. But that puts him in really strong field goal position now.
Yeah, at this point, I think he spikes the ball. Yeah, 8 seconds to go. I don't think he's going to take a shot here. There you go. Wow, great drive with a minute to go. That was perfectly orchestrated.
And he gets the tying field goal. Whoa, what a first half. Atlanta Falcons 17, the Cleveland Browns 17.
Like we all do, basically, with 1 second left, it's an onside kick. Who cares who's going to wind up getting it? That's just the safe play. But what a first half. Lots of fireworks here. 17-17. We'll take a look at some of the statistics here. Duke.
Go ahead. Give us the rundown, Michael.
All right. So for those of you who are joining us late, Cleveland had first possession, but Atlanta got on the board first with a Breece Hall 8-yard end run. And with the Dicker extra point, they went up 7-0. Cleveland immediately answered with an 8-yard touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin from Joe Burrow. That tied the score. And then that put Cleveland on a run where they picked up a field goal and a touchdown. That would be a Tyler Bass 22-yard field goal, who earlier had a missed field goal. That put them up 10-7. McLaurin on a 75-yard touchdown puts them up 17-7. Atlanta has had the last two scores on a Breece Hall 4-yard run and a very nice drive with a minute to go. Decker with a 33-yard field goal, and it looks like they have started the second half. So, Duke, back to you.
Komet got a first down with a short pass, 13 yards. Atlanta now first and 10 at 38. And the end run Harris gets 6 yards. Guess wrong. 2nd and 4 as Atlanta gets the engine back on the tracks and moving down the field here near midfield with a 2nd and 4.
So interesting that he's going with Harris on the end. If you look at his guess wrong card, it's not super strong. I think he's basing it on that 5 and thinking that 4 won't come into blitz. He's not moving him. There's a deep shot.
Oh, and it's picked off. The 4th long pass to Hilton. This time the Browns pick it off. See what the return looks like. 25 yards. Big turnaround there as the Browns move into Falcon territory at the 49 after a bomb to Hilton gets picked.
By Christian Fuller.
The Fuller brush man.
Yes.
1st and 10. Falcons showing blitz. Hundley the back, 2 tight ends. Let's see how the Browns do now with the momentum has completely gone to the Falcons in the second quarter. Here early in the third quarter, let's see what the Browns can do. Off tackle Hundley on a guess wrong, but he's got men in the zone there, the blitz. And it's on the defensive card. Linebacker makes the play, 2nd and 10.
So that was Fulton, not Fuller. That's his second interception. You can see why Atlanta is doing this. Cleveland is not blitzing at all. And so he feels like he can throw downfield, with impunity. But you got to keep in mind that Cleveland does have a good pass defense, which means what? Higher turnover rate.
That is all true. 2nd and 10. He's showing blitz again. Montgomery's the back this time. Look into Montgomery. There's a 4 there. It's guessed right. They're double teaming McLaurin. Quarterback card receiver gets 18 yards. Possible fumble. No fumble. First down puts the Browns at the Atlanta 31-yard line. Big look into Montgomery. Same set, Montgomery, Woods and Everett, the tight ends, Adams and McLaurin split wide. The blitz being showed again by the Falcons. Short pass to Adams, guessed right. He's got the 6 on him.
Pass rush situation. They didn't get to him. Pick up a 10.
Got the 10 yards at the 21-yard line on the edge of red zone territory, 11:42. We got a 17-all tie, a great game between the Cleveland Browns with Ed Carpenter and the Atlanta Falcons with Anthony Tangora. Another blitz called off tackle Montgomery, but there's only one man in zone. And the guard makes the block for 5 yards at the 16-yard line, 2nd and 5.
Again, with fives on the line, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt if you can hit the right hole that Anthony isn't. And that's, the advantage to that safety blitz. It's not just for putting heat on the quarterback, but maybe he can plug the right zone.
No, that's part of Anthony's strategy, I believe. It's been effective.
Mm-hmm.
Look-in pass with a 4 in zone to Everett. Oh, the dump off for 10 yards. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
A near sack. The free safety almost got to him. The sack rate, the chance was a 40. It was a 45. So very close to getting to him, but instead he gets the white die 6 and the benefit of 10-yard pickup and a first down. That was Everett's 6th catch now for 48 yards. So even on a flat pass, that free safety blitz can make an impact, and he almost got to the quarterback.
Yeah, and almost in horseshoes and hand grenades.
So I hear.
Hundley the back, 2 tight ends set.
No blitz.
That's right. I'm trying to figure out Anthony's strategy of when to blitz and when not to.
So McLaren's guarded by a 4. You've got Woods guarded by, let's see, who's got him?
And he throws it to Adams. Looking for the quarterback card, I think. But he doesn't get it, but he gets the receiver card and a touchdown.
Threw right at a 6. Threw right at a 6. Wow. Sometimes, people feel like these wide receivers are, not quite as valuable in a game. But when you've got 2 game breakers on the outside, not just, deep threats, but I believe both are maxed out 6 targets on short. Even though you got a 6 on them, you still want to consider double teaming these guys because they're more, again, if it's on the receiver card, more often than not, I believe it's a 62 on a 6. Let's see. If you have a 6, I believe it's a 62% completion guessed right if it's on their card. 72 regular, 82 if it's guessed wrong.
Yeah, well, Adams showed the value right there.
Yep.
A lot of blanks and other receiver cards where that
absolutely. Yeah. A lot of times, you're relegated to throwing to a 4 there, and it's less than a 50% chance of catching that. So again, 62% chance, even though he's guarded by a 6. It's not unusual to double team there, but you've got 2 of them basically who are equally skilled. So, which one do you go with? You think probably the 4 because the coach is going to think, let's go after the lesser cornerback. So it's not unusual to go after that 6 because you don't think they're going to be double teamed.
Yep. Herberg, 0 guard, couldn't make the block there. 2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8 for Atlanta. Short pass, Komet. Yes, right. 4 men in zone. Defensive card. Defender beats him for 12 yards.
Komet has had a nice game. That's 5 receptions now for 53.
He's catching up with Everett. 1st and 10, 39-yard line. Atlanta trails 17-24. We got 9 minutes to go in the 3rd period, so a lot of game left here. Komet has a 4 on him. He's the left tight end, stole the right tight end. Here's the linebacker Harris. Gets 6 yards. 2nd and 4.
Again, just not really a great guessed wrong card. Obviously, there's your dreaded 5, but on a 6, he has a 1. And on an 8, he has a 3. You're hoping for more. guessed wrong. And he does have Brees Hall, but obviously he wants to save his carries, probably going to preserve them to the fourth.
Short pass to Komet this time. He's got the 4 on, only 3 men in zone. And he beats him again, this time for 14 yards. Komet now closing in on Cleveland's Everett stats here as they're taking advantage of that 4 defender. And now I think Anthony's early strategy of throwing 4 bombs to Hilton in the first half is now significant, because if you're double teaming somebody, you're not going to worry as much about Komet as you would Hilton with the 4 on him. And here's a linebacker for Harris.
Picks right guard able to make the block. Yeah. 7.
He took the right guard this time that makes the block. Of course, the
Landon Dickinson. Excuse me. That was a great selection there. It looks like he's going to be a stalwart for the next, maybe the next decade. And then he's got Connor Williams, a 5 at center. So he's worked on his line.
Linebacker Harris, still only 1 man in zone. Nose tackle's good enough, though, and he gets only 1 yard. So it's back to the 3rd and 2. Falcons in the first half didn't make a 3rd and 2, very significant stop there by Cleveland in the first half. Let's see what happens here. Wasn't that a run call and an end run? Was that the call, Michael?
Yes, it was.
Okay, let's see what happens this time. 2 backs, Johnson and Harris. Nope, we're going with Harris and the lone back and the double tight end. Do you get bold and maybe throw the bomb to Hilton again? I don't know.
Well, I don't think so, because he's not really in field goal range. His kicker is lousy from 33 and out. It's only a 2 and a 3. Personally, I think this is 4 down territory.
Yeah, no, you're right. I wasn't looking at the position of the field hard enough. You're right. I think this is 4 down. I think this is a run just based on what you just said. Let's see if we're on track.
And again, Cleveland doesn't move their players very much. Let's see if he breaks that rule and decides to bring up both of those.
Yeah, he's been leaving that 4 nose tackle by himself a lot.
I can't see him doing that here. I think he brings both 2 up.
Anthony's aware of that too. He's totally aware that 4 has been exposed quite a bit. This is a fascinating call. 3rd and 2 at the Cleveland 33. And it's an end run to Harris again. Gets right.
Oh,
he gets 3 yards instead of the dreaded 0.
Mercy against a really suspect end run card. Now, had he guessed wrong, it would have been a short gain. So he just happened to hit the right number there. But
yeah, but that's the same call, and he got the 6 the first time. This time he gets the 7.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's not a lot of good stuff on there. Guessed wrong. Obviously, the 5 is terrible. The 6 is a 0. The 8 is a -5. The 9 is a 0. So he just happened to find the 7 right there in the middle. So extends the drive to the 30. So big play there.
And here is taking advantage of that nose tackle again, 5 yards. This is fascinating battle of wits here, Michael.
15 carries so far for Harris, 53 yards, 3.5 per carry. So nothing explosive. He doesn't have an explosive card.
He's got 12 fatigueless carries left, so he's in good shape.
Yeah. Again, I think they're just basically going to ride Harris until the 4th quarter when we start to see more of Brees.
I think you're right.
Carries.
I think you were right. 2nd and 5 at the 25 of Cleveland. Falcons on the march. They trail by 7. Flat pass right to Bateman. There's a 6 there, but it's a quarterback card. They get 7 yards and a first down. In the red zone at the 18-yard line. 1st and 10, 4:48 play in the 3rd period. Cleveland Browns lead 24-17 over Atlanta. Off tackle Harris. Guessed right, but it goes on the defensive card. The defensive end makes the play, and it's only 2-yard gains. 2nd and 8, 16-yard line.
Again, Cleveland, good run defense and good pass defense.
Yeah, that's nice. We can get a good defensive team.
Yeah, I mean, they're strong up front, 5'6", 5".
Yeah, look at those numbers. Only 2 4s and those 8 guys behind the 3 linebacker.
So the nice thing about that is you can sometimes get away with it a little more often with playing I think in the real life NFL, you have to bring people up, but you can kind of get away with just playing with 3 down linemen here.
Bryce Hall gets the 8-yard brackets and 1st and goal at the 8. Oh my.
No linebacker plugging that hole.
Bryce Hall still has plenty of carries left.
So again, if you look at that card, you can get away with not bringing somebody up there, but he just happened to find
Your pass commit, and he was guessed right as the Browns guessed pass on a full house backfield. Interesting. Now, once again, the coaching battle of wits is taking center stage. 2nd and goal, 8-yard line, full house backfield. 2 runners really are Harris and Hall. Hall has plenty of carries left. There's 5s on the outside defensively for Cleveland's defense. Tough to run it home from there. His short pass stall again. Pass is guessed right. And he's defended by a 5, and he knocks it down. If he'd gone to commit, he would have got the touchdown. I think. I wasn't sure of the matchups there.
Yeah, commit is guarded by a 4, a white die 5. Looks like he would have made that reception.
Okay, 3rd and goal. Let's see how Cleveland plays the defense. And interesting to see what Atlanta does. You don't think they can run it in from here unless they try Hall again.
Mm-hmm.
But with the containment at 3rd down, I don't know. It's I see 4-2-5 defense shown by Cleveland.
So he's got a free double team here somewhere.
Yeah, and Hall is the back with 2 tight ends, so chance to still run the ball with Hall. It would be dicey, but this is all about dice anyway, right?
Yeah, sure. Hall's a pretty good receiver, and he is picked up, I believe, by a 4 here. And since he's not blitzing, there's no chance of a sack if he decides to use him as a receiver. So any of these 5 are in play.
Short pass to Bateman, guarded by a 5, and it's incomplete. And I think Atlanta will have to go for the field goal here.
That was a blitz possibility, actually. That was a pass rushing opportunity. Had they brought their free safety, it would have been the free safety up against the running back. So there was a sack chance there, but they got the result they wanted.
So you say Atlanta goes with the squib kick all the time, huh?
Correct.
They must have a horrible kicker there as far as returns. Or does Cleveland have some touchdowns on their retrieving cards? I haven't looked at their roster. Cleveland takes over with 2:06 to play in the 3rd at their 25-yard line. Look in pass to Everett with a 4 there. Guessed correctly, but it gets 13 yards on the 6th die. What's the numbers on Everett now, Michael? Do you got him?
7 for 61.
He's ahead of commit.
That's right. In the race to receptions, yes, that would be it.
The tight end battle. 1st and 10 on a 13-yarders at the 38. Falcons still showing blitz. Aggressive defense by Atlanta. Off tackle Hundley. And he went left into the 3-men in zone.
There you go. So there's the benefit of,
Yeah.
even though it was a run call, if it's on the D card and you've plugged up that zone.
And he loses 2 yards, 2nd and 12. And that was the key situation when they got the pick in the first half.
Mm-hmm. That's also one of those unfortunate rolls too, where it's an and or like a blocking back on the D card, and Woods is a 0 blocker. So that's why you lost 2.
And he gets 7 yards off tackle for a 3rd and 5 at the Cleveland 43.
Defensive tackle reading coming up there. He needed to be a 6. Not very many of those in the league, and Hughes was not able to make the play.
3rd and 5. Montgomery the back, 2 tight ends set at 3rd and 5.
Linebacker contained. You have to think pass here. Although, again, a good line. Plus, you've got that 0 nose tackle. And sometimes Anthony's been moving that 4 out. But now, okay, so here's what we got. 2 tight end set. So now Anthony's playing the 3-3-5. So now you've got the chance to flood 2. And instead, he's going to double team Everett here.
He throws the look-in pass. I might have run it myself, but let's see what happens with the look-in. Possible pick, but it gets 4 yards. 4 yards, 4th and 1. What do? You make the call, Michael.
Well, they made the call for us. He's going to go ahead and kick this one away. And this is the first play of the 4th quarter. So our 3rd quarter just ended. Cleveland up 24-20.
I like that. I think that's a good time to punt there.
I don't think there's anything the matter with that. Wow, Anthony picked it up at the 5 instead of letting it go, and it's a gain of 13. And I think a 7 is on the punt card.
And he's at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. We're in the 4th quarter now. 24 Cleveland, Atlanta 20. Harris, the lone back, and it's a linebacker Harris. He's going at that week 4, and he gets the first down because the nose tackle, one of the little weak spots of the Cleveland defense, and Anthony taking advantage of it. Taking
advantage of the fact that he's not moving one of those 2 linebackers up.
They're not even coming in to protect him. He's got a 6th guard there too. He might run it another linebacker with Harris now.
Until he gets one of those 5s to move up, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, there is another one to Harris. And another 5 yards.
Mm-hmm. Cleveland's, again, when you have a very good pass defense, that pass defense card, there's not a lot of yards on there. And so, yeah, it's great to flood, a zone, look in pass, increases your pick possibility, or you move the 5 over to protect the 4, but it just leaves you so vulnerable with that 4 in the middle.
It does. If you're not protecting it, at least show it once in a while. The 3 in a row, and Anthony's just saying, I'm just going to keep plugging away here.
But again, you run the risk of hitting that weird blocking back, which, this isn't 1940. We don't really play with blocking backs. So this time he gets caught up and only picks up a yard. So now 3rd and 4. Now Hall is in. Hall is good. Linebacker, off tackle, and run. So maybe we see one of those situations here where you flood 2 of the flats and you guess run and hedge your bets.
Yeah, well, he's run it 3 times in a row up the middle. I'm looking for a 4th right here.
I'm moving both of those guys up. Or, let's see. If you move the 4 up there on the outside, you lose, commit. You leave him wide open. So maybe he doesn't end run here.
There it is. There it is.
But he ran to the other side.
And he only got a yard. 4th and 3.
Would have been stopped either way.
He's got a punt. Gets a good one. 62 yards. Down to the Cleveland 1. I think he's going to let it roll, Michael. My guess.
I think that's a good guess.
Yep. It goes to the 20. 12 minutes to go. That was a big stop there at 3rd and 4. Big stop. And that's the 3rd time Falcons have gone an end run with 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 3 maybe. Montgomery the lone back, double tight end set. Adams and McLaren split wide. Atlanta shows blitz. We haven't seen much aggressive passing, but there's a flat pass right to Everett. Trying to stay ahead of Komet. 7 yards. And we've seen one bomb to McLaren, right? And that's the only bomb that Cleveland's thrown?
2. He had a 27 or 29-yard gain on Burrow's card. And, of course, the long gain. So 2 that we've seen, 2 completions. I don't know how many attempts he's had, but at least 2.
I think those are the only 2 attempts. I really do.
And, again, he's been calling blitz nonstop. But if I remember correctly, they were –
and he's double teaming him. Good call by Anthony.
Good call.
Oh, what a time for that call. On a 2nd and 3, he double teamed McLaren. Good going, Anthony. Very nice call. 3rd and 3. Now, this is a very important down at the 27-yard line for Cleveland. Montgomery, the lone back. What do you think, Michael?
Atlanta blitzing here again. I think he just goes a flat pass. Oh, and look at that. He's throwing into the flooded flat.
And let's see what card it's on.
Your card, my card.
Defensive card. Oh, it's incomplete. Well, he lost. Just incomplete. 4th and 3. Well,
so again, the value of having a 6. You basically have your shot at flooding one of those 2 flats, and this time it was 50-50 ball, and he got it right.
Well, that was a series of good calls by Atlanta to get the ball back. Decent field position at the 35, 10 and a half minutes to go in the game. 24-20, Cleveland leads Atlanta. Short pass to Komet, guarded by a 4. Possible pick. It is intercepted. Oh, Geno Smith throws it. Tell me who's catching that, Michael.
We will.
20-yard return. Oh, what a turning point.
Isaiah Simmons, his 2nd interception today. 3 picks now for Geno Smith.
Wow, what a time for a pick by Simmons. And it's 1st and 10 at the Atlanta 28. And the Falcons show blitz again. Montgomery's the lone back.
A touchdown here would do some serious damage. Atlanta has good offense, but they're not the kind of dynamic offense that can get 2 touchdowns quickly. So if Cleveland can stretch this, take some time off the clock, and actually finish with 7 as opposed to 3, it could really make a serious.
Looking past the Everett guess wrong, and the two men in zone were on the right, and here's a guess wrong, and it's incomplete. He hits the Blanco. Oh my.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, that's a big play. 2nd and 10. Guessed wrong to Everett. Now we got the blitz still being shown. 2nd and 10. Cleveland playing a very conservative offense with a 4-point lead. 9:54 to play. Off tackle Hundley. There's 3 men in zone. Which card you going to get on? Goes on the defensive card. Those 5s on the tackle 5 gets him 5 yards or 6 yards.
The difference between 7 and 2 yards. So now 3rd and 4, a run is a lot easier. Linebacker containment doesn't really affect anything here. So
no, much easier.
I've always admired Ed's ability to draft. He's, I think, one of the most underrated GMs that we have in this league.
I agree with you.
Just always gets great talent. He really does well with draft.
Johnny Woods on a look-in pass with a 4 there. Guess right. Possible pick, but he gets the 4 yards. Oh, that was a double-edged sword there.
Mm-hmm.
Got the 4 yards on the look-in pass, but there was a chance of a pick. 1st and 10 at the 18. Atlanta in the red, Cleveland in the red zone. 8:42 to play. The Falcons have been aggressive defensively. There's a flat pass, incomplete. To try to throw the look into Everett again.
Atlanta continues to blitz here, but if you're just going to throw flat, I mean, he could show blitz all he wanted to, and then just move that free safety 0 into either of those looking passes. So you're not going to punish him if you're not going to throw short here.
Good point. Good point, Michael.
He's faking blitzes at this point. He's not, and that's great. He's basically disguising blitzes. But again, you don't get that sniper scope on a flat pass.
Yes. There's an off tackle. The guess about he went right, which is going to be an advantage, especially with those 5 blockers and no 3-minute zone. Defensive tackle can't make the play, and he gets 6 yards. 3rd and 4 again at the 12. Now the clock is becoming a big factor here. A 2-score lead would be absolutely monumental here. He's at the 12-yard line. 3rd and 4. How aggressive are the Falcons going to be? If you guess run here, Michael, you're in danger of giving up the touchdown. If you guess pass, you're in danger of him running off more time on the clock and still getting the score. He chose blitz. He's got a 0 on the line in a 4-3.
I think he's going to Adams here flat.
But he's got Hargrave who's looking for the sack. He's really aggressively looking for the sack. I think he's going to blitz one zone. He's flat pass to McCarron. Right. There's a 4 there, and he's got a 4 on him. Oh, this is a huge play. Oh, look. Oh,
wow.
12 yards. Oh, dear. He got the touchdown. Oh, my.
So it was a white dice 6, but it wouldn't have mattered. It was a receiver reading 1 there, 2 for 1 there. So it wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, and 11, and gets the extra point, and 11-point lead with 7:30. That is huge, Michael.
Yes, it is.
Huge. Okay, it's an uphill battle now for the Falcons. They trail by 11 points with 7:12 to play. They have all their timeouts. They're at their 23-yard line. Now there comes in Breece Hall. Okay, he's got 6 good, healthy carries left.
Sure, yeah. And, so basically he has 10 carries left, right?
I think we might see all of them right now.
I think we're going to see a steady diet of Hall. But again, this is why you have Hilton there. It's exactly why you have Hilton there. It's going to be Hilton or it's going to be Hall, one of the two. Oh, there's a big break. I say Hilton or Hall, and then it winds up, we're not going to go to either one of them. Let's go to Rashad Bateman. And he got that white dice 6 and a 30-yard pickup, and they cross midfield. So that's exactly what the doctor ordered. There's a curl pass. It's on Geno Smith's cards, a pickup of 12. And the ball now is at the 35. Duke, we've lost your microphone here. Let me make sure that you're – Duke, if you wouldn't care, connect again, and then we'll put you right in. Looks like you've disconnected. So I'll keep checking, Duke. Cleveland Browns have not blitzed all game. So Atlanta has not been scared to throw downfield, and they do again. Now they're going to throw deep to Bateman, but he's double teamed, and the pass is incomplete. So it's 2nd down and 10, ball at the 35. Atlanta's down 2 scores here. They need a touchdown and a field goal to tie, and that would include a 2-point conversion. So they need a few more yards to get in reasonable field goal range past the 33. Their kicker is not very good. Cameron Dicker, I believe his name is. He's not really good past the 33. Curl pass. And that pass is incomplete as the defensive back is able to make the play. They were looking for Rashad Bateman, who was double teamed on that last play. Let's see if 3rd down run to Hall, and that puts them in field goal range. So it's 4th and 4 at the 29. And so decision time for Atlanta. So they're inside of they were inside of the range where the linebacker contain would take place, but they decided to take the 3. So now they know their mission. With 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, Cleveland will they'll take possession at their own 19 after the Okay, so we're going to connect you here via telephone. So I'll give you the play-by-play, and when your internet comes back on, let us know. But we'll keep you on the broadcast here. So
I think there are a few. Something strange is going. I think I'm entering this studio now.
Okay, let's see if you're there. Nope, still not. There you are. You just got in.
Okay. Now I can't. I gotta just.
10100 was the game number.
Okay, 10100. Okay.
Yep. So Cleveland gets a 1st down on that 11-yard pass to Everett. There's that man again, 9 catches for 79 yards. So that's the first hurdle. Basically a couple of 1st downs, and they can put this one away. 3:36 to go. Atlanta has all 3 of their timeouts. Ball at the 30. Now it's just a matter of grinding as much clock as you can, or at least eliminating those timeouts, and most importantly, not turning the ball over. Here's a quick look for Adams. And a white die 6, so a big break for Cleveland. That's a 13-yard pickup. And unless Atlanta calls timeout, that'll move the clock, I believe, to 2:24.
Okay, I got the picture now.
Okay. Excuse me. That clock now moves to 3. So 3:36 to go. That took 36 seconds off the clock. So, Duke, you've got it. 1st and 10, ball at the 43. Atlanta trails 31-23. They have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but the ball now is at midfield. So Cleveland doing exactly what they need to do. 2 successful first down.
Off tackle Montgomery. There's clogs there, but it's on the runner's car, and he gets 7 yards.
Defense gets to pass.
We're at midfield, 2nd and 3, 2:24 to play. Atlanta has 3 timeouts left. Still a 1-score game. How did Atlanta score, Michael?
Field goal.
Okay.
A Brees Hall run, and they were 4 yards short, and they opted for a field goal from, I believe, about 46 yards, maybe inside of 45.
Okay, so now we have a flat pass right to McLaren and nobody home. Anthony got aggressive and blitzed everybody up the middle, but Ed went with the pass, and flat pass right gets 8 yards and a first down. 2-minute warning at the Atlanta 42-yard line. 1st and 10.
So it all comes down to this. A first down is going to win it for them.
Pretty much. But still, 3 timeouts left. Atlanta can be somewhat standard with defense if they can just stop them. And you got to feel
Joe Burrow back there. Gosh, he's murder guessed wrong. So there's just so many different possibilities. It just depends on how aggressive Cleveland wants to be for getting what, in essence, one more first down is probably going to at least put them in field goal range. So they'll have 2 chances to kill it, either kill the clock or a field goal that'll put them up 2 scores and basically end the game.
You know, in my mind, Michael, I would think that I would not expect Ed to throw any short passes. So I would protect those 2 look-in zone and the flat pass right and guess a lot of run.
Yep.
He's not going to throw a flat pass against the 6, so leave that there. Look in to Everett, and there's 2 men in zone.
Oh, pick chance here.
And it's gone to – oh, and it's incomplete.
So you preserve a timeout.
Yeah, you preserve a timeout. And that's the zone to protect, because I don't think he's going to go flat pass, but if he does, he's not going to go flat pass left. So the only pass that I would expect Cleveland to do would be a flat pass right. 2nd and 10, and then still showing the blitz.
Now, if I'm Anthony here, I'm leaving that blitzer there. I'm totally leaving that blitzer there and not worrying about flooding the flats.
Oh,
and there's a square in that's blank. Oh, mercy.
I wouldn't have left the look here so no, but there it is. Oh, my. That is going to be a killer. Oh, but he only got 9. That's pretty fortunate.
Would have been a pickup of 5, so it would have been a pretty decent game no matter what. But it would have taken the run likely out of play, at least for the chance to convert a first down.
But putting 2 in the flat pass left, I just don't see how Ed would throw a flat pass left against the 6. But Atlanta still has 3 timeouts left. Now he's got to be really aggressive with this play, and I think I don't think he's gonna worry about the pass. I just don't think Cleveland would pass the ball here. And I think Atlanta's gonna go balls out on the run call. Maybe a short yardage defense. What do you think?
It's at this point, I think you have to key. I mean, so now you got to figure out who it's going to be, either Burrow or Montgomery. Now, what will really be interesting here is if they don't get it, what Cleveland will decide to do, because they're on the outskirts of field goal range.
Yes.
It'd be one of the saddest punts ever, but they likely will. I would think they would punt. Here
You're
comes
right on the key. I agreed with you on the key, but he went to Burrow.
Wow, and Burrow rushes for 22, holds on to the ball, and this game essentially is over. Atlanta will have to take a timeout. They can take another one that'll take it to 52, then to 45. They'll kneel on the ball, and that'll take it to 8, and then Cleveland can decide whether or not to kick a field goal here or go for it. Either way, it'll leave Atlanta with 8 seconds or 1 second.
Yep.
So I think we can officially now announce that the winner of this game is going to play the Los Angeles Rams for the NFC Championship, and the AFC Championship already has been lined up, and that'll feature the Montreal Alouettes, who will be returning to the championship. They were the runners-up last year against the first-timer, Ken Dreyer, and the Houston Oilers. So this game is going to determine who will play the Los Angeles Rams in the NFC Championship.
Who coaches those Los Angeles Rams?
Some geek.
Yeah. Kind of a raw rookie, isn't he?
Just a blowhard, I believe.
There's a deal down. 52 seconds to play. One timeout left for Atlanta. Fascinating game, Michael.
And scoring. How about that? Everything has been so pedestrian in these games, except you're in my game, which was phenomenal. How much fun was that?
That was a hoot.
That was a hoot. I just for the life of me, could not believe that fourth quarter. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen a collapse like this. It was a phenomenal game. Just a lot of fun.
It was. And the fact that you enjoy this league so much and now you're having your measure of success, which it takes a little while, I'm just really happy for you, Michael.
Anthony has joined us actually in the stream. So 3rd and 12. Burrow probably will take another knee here. I can turn this off now.
Yeah, he takes another knee. 1 second to play.
Yeah, doesn't really matter here. He should just take a knee.
Yeah,
he shouldn't even bother to kick this. Should not even bother. Why even waste the time waste the opportunity for a block return? There you go.
Yeah. Anthony's still blitzing.
Absolutely. Look, and he got to him.
That's funny.
What a run for Anthony. I tell you what, 2nd year in this league and just a touchdown short of getting to the NFC Championship. You're more the historian of this league. In a 30-team league, just how difficult that is to be a competing team. It took me 5 years to make the playoffs. There are some teams that haven't been in the playoffs for plenty of years, and to get there after 2, what a remarkable accomplishment. But Cleveland, they were built for speed. At the beginning of the season, I jokingly try to make predictions here, and I have Cleveland and the Oilers basically in the finals. And I think Cleveland is just not a lot of weaknesses on this team. With the exception of pass rush, they pretty much have everything you could possibly need to win this title.
Interesting that Burrow was 29 of 37 for 334 yards, 78% completion, 140.3 rating against Geno Smith's 28.1 rating, and it was a one-score game.
Wow.
That is the most one-sided quarterback stats to have a close game. And there's no question that Atlanta was in this game all the way.
I'm going to Anthony's going to join our stream here in just a second. I'm going to see if Cleveland would like to join as well.
That would be neat. That would really be cool.
Hey guys.
Hi, Anthony.
How you doing?
Hello, Anthony. Congratulations on a fine season.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anthony, I know you won't like the result, but you'll like this broadcast better because Duke basically, the golden tones of Duke Szymanski brought this, and I just did a little bit of color commentary. He was phenomenal in this. You'll really enjoy it. I promise you will.
Yes, I'm sure I will. It was a tough one. It's hard to overcome those interceptions. And none of them were particularly likely, So, 3 picks, all in sort of 3 men in zone, guessed right, not doubled up. It's hard to count on those, hard to overcome them, that many possessions the other way. And, the flat pass is a weapon. It was tough to defend it. There were more 6 rolls than there were D-die rolls,
Yes.
There
was an inordinate out of 6s. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, D-die has double the chance of a 6 coming up, yet the 6 outpaced the D-die. It just, I'm an advocate of Yak. I like Yak a lot because it brings variability in the flat pass. It's just so predictable. flat passes are. There's no chance of a catch with no gain. There's no chance. There's no chance of so many. Typically no chance of a few different results. The variability is just not there, and it's and if you're in a 4-3, even with a good pass D, it's tough to defend,
Yeah.
But without that variability there,
And Anthony, you know what? And I like your strategy of throwing downfield. I know he's got a very good defense, but I'm sure that you saw this too. He doesn't blitz like at all.
Yeah.
So you basically can throw pretty much with impunity downfield, and you just hope that you're not going to A, run into a double team, or B, a bad roll. So 3 interceptions, that's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that was the toughest part, I would say, of this one. I thought Ed called a really good game, especially holding a lead as he did. The long pass interception coming out of the half, no men in zone, deep against a 4.
Yep.
He had that chance on his side, and he hit it for a long gain, as he should. On my side, I hit a 0-man INT. It's it's going to happen. Those things are going to happen, and you have to factor that in. But it's hard to win games, And then on that INT coming out of the half, he came back and beautifully put together a drive, as Ed can do. Best offense in the league, pretty much in every in every category.
Yeah.
And came back, and basically could have been a 14-point swing there if Hilton would have been able to bring in that 0-man against a 4. But that 14-point swing alone, then the INT later, it was tough sledding. And even still, I think that one that probably slipped by the broadcast, the McLaurin touchdown to make it an 11-point lead. If you go back and look at the log, Cal U was blitzing and Hargrave was on the field. It went to the asterisk.
Yeah. Yep.
And the asterisk alternated to Hargrave that instead of Cal U. If it was Cal U, it would have been a sack.
Would have been a sack. Yeah.
And because it goes to it just sort of does Strat stuff and makes it Hargrave, because it was like a 7 on the 100 die. He had no chance of a sack. So it would have been a sack simply on the alteration of the asterisk, which is one of my pet peeves in Strat. But you know what? I call it pet peeves, but you coach to that, right? You coach to that. And that was a coaching failure on my part. I mean, when I traded for Hargrave, that's part of the calculation. Is, I'm going to be safety blitzing a lot. And that means Hargrave is going to get in my way sometimes with that one asterisk. And I accepted that. And it comes back to get you. I mean, that's part of, that's on me, because, I made that decision to take that risk coming in with that trade. And of course, Hargrave worked out really well. He got a bunch of key sacks, got me a bunch of wins, really. But right then and there, it showed up. So that, that coaching decision by my part hurt. It doesn't feel like it when you're playing the game. It's like, why can't it be Cal U's turn? That completely flips the game. It makes it, a easy 1-score game. I could go down there and get a touchdown and win it. But
Anthony,
bottom line is it's a coaching decision. Yeah.
Anthony, take me through the game plan of the early bombs to Hilton. It seemed like you were trying to put a seed into Ed's mind of what you were going to do. Was that trying to set up something? Give me an idea what your philosophy was.
Absolutely. The best laid plans, Duke. He had averages number 2 or number 3 in the league, 3.6 men in zone on short pass, among the best in the league in bringing men up on short. And I wanted that. As a matter of fact, he very rarely brings any linebackers up at all among the and very frequently moves the free safety around. So I wanted to keep that free safety back there. And it worked. I came out on my second or third drive, short pass to Komet, free safety stayed back, 3 men in zone against a 4, threw a pick on the defensive card, 3 men in zone. So you strategize for that stuff. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
You strategize for that stuff, and it works out, the way you want it to, but it doesn't mean, all the strategy in the world, all the stats, all the, 3.6 men in zone, blah, 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 can overcome, something like that. So, I thought for the most part got passing situations that I wanted. But it just didn't work out, on the
No,
whole.
that makes sense. Where do you get all those stats from?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, Ed. Hey,
Hey, Ed,
this is the
congratulations.
first time I think that Ed has ever joined a broadcast. So welcome aboard.
How do I get my microphone on here?
You're on. We can hear you.
Just move a little
You
closer
hear
to
me?
it.
You know what? I know why. I'm fucking up here. Let me open up my laptop.
Oh, there he is, the legend himself.
Congratulations, Ed, from Anthony here. Just want to say,
Well, thank you. I
Yes,
wasn't expecting to come out on top on this one, especially after my start. I thought I was going to fire fasciitis.
Yeah, after your weak regular season, Ed, you couldn't expect to win a playoff game with that.
Exactly. Agreed. The only problem is it's 1:00 p.m. and it's too early for my to start drinking bourbon.
Well, congratulations. That was a great victory against an outstanding coach in Anthony.
He kept closing it up. Even when I got a lead, I thought to myself, well, shit. Anyways, that's Strat.
to answer your question, Duke, those are all from the regular reports. So they're all sort of in there. I have I just take those regular reports and just sort of sort them in certain ways, and that enables me to sort of put together a dossier on each team that's pretty comprehensive.
Oh, it is very comprehensive.
Yeah, but it's all the regular stats that are easily available. There's no nothing other than
I look for those. I can't find them. But of course, I'm an old guy with dementia, so don't take what I say with more than a grain of salt.
Right. Well, I pull them into an Excel model, then I are able to.
Yeah. It seems like you can access what their ranking is in the league and everything. It's really fascinating to hear your citing those stats.
Yeah, it's that's the way I like to look at it. I like to look at rankings because it's just because somebody end runs only 18% of the time or whatever on a particular situation. And you can tend to overlook that if you're looking at just the straight up offensive tendencies. If they're ranked number one there on a relative basis, they're actually doing it more than anybody else. I want to know that. Where are the outliers? That's really the.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
So Anthony, where is your smoking man cave?
So I've at least for now, we're probably going to be moving here in a few months. But during COVID, I built a cigar room next to a wine cellar here that has its own ventilation system.
All right,
so it has what's called I think a ERV or something. So it pulls the smoke right out, and it's sealed up tight. I spent a lot of time, kind of homemade, spent a lot of time sealing it with all sorts of stuff and painting over the ceiling, making sure everything was, because it's in the basement, so the smoke tends to rise. And then it has a nice looking window right out into the TV room where I have more TVs than a human should have to watch sports from the cigar room. That's the
excellent. So, are you in the Atlanta area somewhere?
No, I'm not. I'm currently in Grand Rapids.
Holy shit!
Probably won't be here very long though. But yeah, currently in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, I was in Grand Rapids over the holidays for a wedding.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
And you're in Cleveland, presumably, Ed?
I'm in Cleveland now, so I have a condo in Cleveland that I use primarily in the summers, but then I've got my main home down in St. Simons Island, Georgia, right on the Atlantic. Have you ever heard of that place?
I have not.
You ever heard of Sea Island, Georgia?
I have not. I hear of lots of places.
There's a group of barrier islands running up and down the coast. St. Simons, Little St. Simons Island, Sea Island, Jekyll Island are all part of this Golden Isles place. So I've got a house on the Intercoastal Waterway here, and I can go north of the island or south of the island to get out to the Atlantic. So it's not bad.
Beautiful, very very nice.
But I'm in Cleveland. Yeah. I'm an idiot right now. I came up to Cleveland because my freaking condo is falling apart, and I had to get contractors in here and yada yada.
I
So
chose
Michael-
Atlanta. I chose Atlanta completely arbitrarily because some leagues it puts everything in alphabetical order. So I like to
Yeah.
sort of be at the top.
There
So
you go.
I mean that's basically why Atlanta was
So
chosen.
Michael, I know you're a casual Browns fan. So when I drafted Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
Okay.
had to do it, right?
Actually, I live in Eastern Kentucky, but for the longest time, I lived in Southern Ohio, a town about 2 hours south of Columbus. So every league that I am in, which would be 5 of them, the Bengals were taken pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
So I took the Browns initially in one league, and slowly but surely, a few of the Browns franchises left. And so I relocated,
Yeah.
I think Tampa Bay for one, Kansas City for another. I just took whatever team name was available.
Yeah.
And so Cleveland is pretty much Cleveland throughout the rest of the leagues, but Los Angeles Rams have always been my favorite team ever since I was 6. So I was
Gotcha.
really glad to get that in this league here. So,
Gotcha.
and Nathan has the Rams pretty much in every league. There's somebody else who has it in one of the Samifa leagues, so I won't be able to ever be the Rams. So I wanted to find something that was close to home. So Browns.
Gotcha. Well, the problem with winning, Anthony, between you and I, the problem with winning this game is the winner of this game has to play the best team in the league.
I don't think that's the case. I'm just telling you.
I think if I don't completely, I've tried to put our regular season game out of my mind, but I think you beat me like 38-12 or something.
That was an anomaly. I'm just telling you, my team didn't score 38 in any other game. And I've looked at that box score and still can't figure out how in the world we were able to get that kind of score.
You crushed us. It was a beatdown from the first quarter.
Well, and I'll tell you why. So if you look at your stats, and we talked about this, and I hope that you guys both enjoy the broadcast. It's tough when you're doing this solo, but I've worked with Dave here for years, and unfortunately, we just cannot get his internet to work correctly. But today, I think it was a good broadcast from beginning to end. Win or lose, I think this is going to be a good one. And Duke was just flawless in this. It was so fun just to do color commentary. So while he was doing the play-by-play, I got a chance to dig into some of the numbers. And I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I think your third down percentage is maybe like 46%. In my playoff run, right now
I have a pretty good offense.
No question.
The issue with my offense is my running attack is.
It is, but the run that I'm on right now, teams are 9% converting third downs on me. So this is an aberration.
You have a great defense.
Through the year, it was 32. So I think something wacky is going on here. I don't know if you saw the last broadcast, but
you have from recollection, you have an excellent rated pass defense, don't you?
Before the season, Dennis and I made a trade because he was rebuilding, and I picked up Wagner. And with that, basically was able to get to 29. And I got real lucky because the 4 that I had, Poyer, Diggs, Humphreys, all got 6s, and Sutton was given a 5. So when you've got a chance to go for 29, I mean, you go for it. Dennis was telling me that's like a cheat code.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, and it's 3-4 as well.
Oh no, I hear you. I agree with you.
3-4 excellent is top of the top.
But you know what's strange about it, Anthony, to be honest, is it's almost one of those static defenses where, I've got a 10 in the middle and 11 on the outside in Chubb, and they just sit there. You're almost afraid to pull the trigger on safety blitzes because more than any other league, you feel like, just leave him here and let's just see what happens. You roll against him.
But that's a luxury.
Very much so.
That's a luxury. So you don't have to take chances, and you can take chances when you want to. That's a luxury. It's not a liability. I mean,
well, and not just that, but I mean, you can guess run a little bit more and kind of get away with it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Especially with those INTs hanging back there. You just get
your
men in zone.
Get
your men in zone, and you got a decent chance. I mean, especially at the goal line, things like that. Put 4 men there, and you're more at liberty to call run than just about anybody if you feel like it.
Yeah, it's not coaching; it's stacking the deck.
Oh, it's coaching. It's coaching because building your team is a part of the, part of the process. So you deserve a lot of praise for building that D the way you did, and and let's see if
It's
it
a great
can
team.
produce some fruit next round.
Great,
So
it's a
Ed,
great,
have you?
it's a
How far
great
have you
thing
gone
that
in the
we-
finals here in Autumn Wind? This is the farthest you've gone. Furthest.
Yeah, oh yeah. I
Me
don't
too.
know how many years. I think I'm in for about maybe 7 or 8 maybe.
Okay.
And of course I started rebuilding right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I took my first rebuild effort was
Just to confirm.
I drafted Jared Goff, and then after Jared Goff went through a season of snap fumbleitis, I said, "F this," and I said, "I'm going to get rid of Goff. I'm going to get serious about this." And then I think Nathan and I both made moves up the draft ladder, both going for Justin Herbert. He got in front of me. And I took the number 2 pick, and I was happy to get Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up a lot for Joe Burrow, but greatest trade I've ever made.
Yeah. I Duke got a kick out of this. In the first half, Burrow had 201 yards basically, and he got to 200 like really quick, especially on the heels of that long pass to McLaren.
Yeah.
And he had 4,000 yards this year. There was no other quarterback in the league who had 4,000 yards. And I told Duke, I said, getting a 300-yard passing game in Autumn Wind is about tantamount to getting a 300 in bowling. I mean, it's just very difficult.
It's hard. It is hard. Now,
I imagine probably in the season you had a few of those games.
I had a few of those games, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I throw the ball a lot because I've got great personnel and I got a good quarterback, right?
Yep. You've got to.
I'll run it. Of course, I'll run it. I'll tell you that when we play, I'll run every play. But I throw the ball a lot.
Yeah. But unlike, you get 7 yards plus an attempt, and that also is kind of rare. A lot of the players are like 5 and 6 because they dink and dunk. You're not afraid to throw downfield. You got 2 excellent weapons on the outside and a halfway decent line. I mean, I love the 5s all over.
The line's really, I'm really
hard
happy
on
with
building that.
I'm really happy with the O line, and with Lyle Collins going down. Last year, I made a decision that if this guy was in the 3rd round, I was going to take him. So I drafted Zach Tom in last year's draft. So Zach Tom is going to slide right in.
Oh yeah.
Lyle Collins.
This team's going to be just fine next year.
Well, the problem is the team is going to be quite good next year. The problem is Joe Burrow is not going to be good.
Right.
So I'll play and I'll wait it out. And obviously I'm not going to go out and try to trade for a quarterback.
You build a strong club that isn't going anywhere. All right. I told Duke, I said, I think he really works hard on his drafts. And
I spend a lot more time drafting than I do trying to figure out how to play this damn game.
You do. No, you can tell. My goodness gracious. I mean, you got.
No, I have one fundamental weakness, and that is if I go watch, I'll say, for example, if you go watch Nathan Baylor play defense, and Nathan Baylor likes to bring it. And if I play Nathan in I think it was a spring fever playoff game last year, and he probably sacked Dak Prescott, my spring fever quarterback, 8 times in the game. It just crushed me. Yeah. So I just don't feel good about doing all that much blitzing. So that's something I've got to still learn how to do that.
Well, Anthony blitzed you all day today.
Fortunately, he didn't get me too many times.
Just one time. There's no way. I mean, look, going into this game, I would have said I needed 3 to 4, to be able to neutralize your ability to go stick to stick, sort of, and gobble up first downs and third down conversions. I got one. It really counted. That was nice. It was a sack fumble.
Yeah.
But we already talked about the McLaurin touchdown. That was just an asterisk thing, and then I think Hargrave missed one on a 56%, or I think it was 58. I needed a couple more, and of course the turnover margin. I didn't even think about that. Figured that was going to come out even, but needed sacks today, and didn't have a huge chance to get him on those flat passes. But there was a 40 and a 30 there pretty much every time, with Caillou and Hughes off the left end, but couldn't get to you. As we were talking about before, the sixes were coming up more than the D-die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. This is my first playoff victory. I've been in playoffs a couple of times, and I've lost all those games. I was in a playoff last year, but I wasn't physically there because I was on a cruise. Lost that game.
Okay.
Those are the only two appearances in autumn wind because it took me. Michael, it took me 6 years. Took me 6 fucking years to rebuild this team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a long wait. That's a long wait. And with Burrow next year, I mean, in a 30-team league, it's and you'll probably have to do this next year. All of us sort of have to examine this. I mean, some years you have to just take your medicine, right?
Yeah.
You can't go for it every year, because even if you do, there's a chance that you're not going to get there in a 30-team league. So you sort of have to take your medicine. Some years, guy gets hurt, blah blah blah, and you gotta wait till next year, which is a hard thing to do, but you sort of have little choice.
Well, talking about Nathan Baylor, that's what Nathan does is he will revamp his team every other year. He'll go.
Lost you, Duke.
Yeah.
Hey, Dennis. Unmute Dennis. There he is.
Hey, I'm here. Yeah, I didn't get to see the game. I was doing my taxes this morning, but I'll check it out later. But yeah, what I think what Duke was saying is that Nathan won't be lukewarm. He won't just get by. He will sell people off and get the picks to get younger and do a rebuild, or he'll just grab it, make trades to grab the veterans to put him over the top. So he doesn't like to stay in the middle, and I get that. I'm kind of trying to do a rebuild myself, as you can tell. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Nathan always outproduces what you would expect his record to be.
Yeah.
And that's a problem when you're trying to rebuild, because you're not going to get that top pick because you wind up winning games you shouldn't.
Yeah,
I think Nathan
Beat my ass this year,
Nathan this year had a defense that was something like poor, very poor, and he went over 500. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you can do that.
Well, Butch had some very poor, and he did pretty well. If you have good enough offense,
good too.
Butch and his voodoo. But it's true. Being in the middle of the pack in a non-lottery league is typically where you don't want to be. I mean, you don't want to, fall 2-3 games out of the playoffs. I mean, if you got a chance to make it, that and you end up, 18th pick or whatever that is, then okay, you had a chance to make the playoffs. But if you didn't really have a chance and you end up 12, 13, 14 in there, that's a tough spot to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think what helps is doing the work. Like Ed, you said this is the first playoff win in 6 years, but as a GM, I know you do the work. You're sending the emails. You're looking at your roster. You're trying to initiate trade talks. That's the kind of that's what you need to do, no matter where you're at, whether you're a contender or a rebuilder. Yeah. And Mark Lepage is another great one. Claude is as well. They will initiate those trade talks. They will use their excess to get to cover their needs, and you have to do that.
I do spend a lot of time preparing for the draft. And, managing my draft board and so forth. But I tell you, even with a year under your belt on their first year in the NFL, I go back and look at some of the draft picks I've made and go, Jesus,
it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Sure.
It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
John Lynch does the same thing, by the way.
Yeah.
The best GMs in the world.
Absolutely.
The same thing happened. Trey Lance. In Lynch's case, right? You wouldn't call him a bad drafter, Lynch.
No, certainly not.
What do you call Ryan Leaf?
And who was that? Was that Beathard in San Diego at the time, right?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Paul
and that's Beathard, one of the best ever.
Very long time ago.
Yeah.
So.
And both those guys you mentioned, quarterbacks. If you miss on a quarterback, you wind up just throwing good money after bad, continually trying to upgrade that spot. So be happy that you have somebody like Burrow, Ed, because you're set. You don't have to go and spend spend a first round pick on a Trey Lance or like I think Dave Will one year picked Geno Smith and the quarterback with the long neck. I can't remember who it was, but he spent 2 first-round picks on quarterbacks and neither panned out.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The famous quarterback with the long neck, right? We all remember him.
Who is it? Come on, guys, help me out here.
Give us a team. Give us a team. We'll try.
I think his name was Steve.
Just
I think it was Steve Giraffe, right? Was that it?
you guys talk. I'll go look it up. It's you can definitely see that draft class in the Autumn Wind workbook.
Yeah, but on your overall point, Dennis, it's absolutely true, and it requires, I guess, empathy more than anything else, right? Being able to put yourself in your trading partner's shoes, understanding what they need, what they have in terms of depth, and then so it starts there. It starts with not analyzing your team is an important part of the process, obviously, but analyzing other teams and if you were in their shoes, what would you be looking for, and what would you be looking to trade? Then firing out the emails. That's how you can sort of find those trades that maximize mutual benefit. And if you do, then you're going to get those trades done.
Anthony, that's exactly what Nathan does. When Nathan makes me an offer, I almost just accept. He's already analyzed my team. He knows my team, and he knows as good as I know me. And when he puts a trade on the table, it's almost always, yeah, sure, Nathan, let's do it. And you're really good that way too.
You gotta put trades on the table that make some sense, obviously.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and besides, there's too many sharks in this league.
Yeah, there's a few swimming around out there.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and that's it too. And if you get a little too sharky, then it hurts your credibility, right? So when you get that email from Nathan, like you said, Duke, right? If you get that email from somebody else who tends to offer you unfair deals and really isn't looking at your side, well, you're going to be skeptical even when a mutually beneficial trade comes across in an email. I mean, I think it's really important to build up your credibility,
right?
As well, that you put offers out there that are 1 + 1 = 3 as much as possible. 1 + 1 = 3 is what you're looking for, and if that's what you do, then people will talk to you.
Usually, is they don't analyze your roster. It's not that they're making unfair offers, consciously. They're just not looking at your roster like a lot of smart dealers do. You got to know who you're dealing with and what they need.
Yeah, precisely. Mm-hmm. And, the more people you have in a league, and I think we have a ton of them that do that. Like you've mentioned a few guys, that including Ed here and Nathan, that makes it more fun than having to sit back and just say obviously no reflexively in under 5 seconds to trade deals that come across. And I've been in some of those leagues, and that's just simply not as fun as when you have a bunch of people who actually take the time to look at both sides and put across good offers.
I've been playing with Gary Nagata over 40 years, and I can't remember more than 3 or 4 trades with him. For some reason, we just never seem to see eye to eye, but it's been over 40 years, and I hardly ever make a trade with him.
So the quarterback with a long neck is Mike Glennon. So one year, Dave Will, in the first round, selected Geno Smith and Mike Glennon, like 1-7 and 113 or something like that. But you wind up chasing that quarterback over and over again, trading your first round pick to get somebody, and then he doesn't pan out, or you pick a rookie and he loses his job. Yeah. So if you have that asset of a quarterback, you can just ride him and focus on other positions in the first, 3 rounds of every draft.
Yeah. Russell Wilson, anybody?
And Glennon's a great example too, because he's not like he was ever a bad quarterback, really. I mean, it's not like
he's an NFL.
That's a pretty good pick in the grand scheme of things. He had a pretty good chance, in a couple teams to establish himself. Just didn't happen for him, for whatever reason. It could have, and then still it bites you,
Yeah, I was a 6'6" quarterback in flag football.
With a short neck.
with a long neck too.
Well, that puts a wrap on the Falcons season. So, look,
and a great campaign, Anthony. Yeah. We had to have had the toughest division. I mean, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Chargers surprised with their 13-3 season, but then you with 11 and me with 10, and Dallas is never an easy out and finished with 8. And then we have the daggone Super Bowl champion, who granted was rebuilding, but still a really good coach in Gene LaFleur. I think we were battle tested, to say the least.
To say the least.
So
Yeah,
who are the teams left in the playoffs? And one thing, real quick, look at Anthony. Lost a tough game. I don't even know. I have to look at it. But comes on, is a gentleman, is a scholar, has a great attitude. What a great sportsman. So congratulations to Ed. But thank you, Anthony, for helping out in the broadcast and for being a good sport. For not taking a loss too hard.
Sure, I think I bitched a little bit in the first 5 minutes here, though, Dennis. To be honest with you, but
hey, Anthony, you're with friends. You're welcome to do that. My goodness gracious.
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, all those things come back to decisions I made. So I completely recognize that. I mean, right on down. You can trace it all back. I mean, that Hargrave example, I think, is the best one. That's my decision. My decision to get a 1 asterisk on the field, and it cost me. So, when Caillou could have had the sack on the McLaurin touchdown, I don't know if you noticed that, but it went to asterisk and Caillou would have had the sack. It alternated over to Hargrave. Okay. You can one hand, you can call that bad luck, but really it's a coaching decision to trade for the 1 asterisk. I knew what I was doing and I accepted that risk, and boom, it hits you, Going to be interesting to see what Gino's card looks like next year for the Falcons. That trade was for the 6th pick. I think he got Purdy with that. I don't think I would have taken Purdy there, but I would have been better off with Purdy, that's for sure. But I also got Jermaine Johnson in that deal, and a good 5th rounder. I forget who that was. Jermaine Johnson should be a good defensive end next year. He should be getting a 5 with good pass.
But here's the problem, okay? And this is the problem. Part of the problem I got with the Strat football game, and that is, what did I just do? So Jermaine Johnson, if you go on PFF. Jermaine Johnson is going to show it in terms of the positions that he's played. He's primarily an OLB.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
And then I don't know how many coverage snaps he has, but probably not very many. Right? And so they're going to give him a damn OLB card. They're going to make him a 0-10 something or other, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I've got my defensive end. One of my defensive ends is Jadeveon Clowney. So Clowney on PFF is listed as taking OLB snaps. He's got like 6 coverage snaps all year. He typically has, when he's in, and he's got over 800 snaps. When he's in, his knuckles are on the ground most of the time. Mm-hmm. He should get a DN card. I think he's not going to get one.
Mm-hmm. Really? Hold on. Let me look at that.
I think he's not going to get one. And I just think that it's such when you've got a 0 in that flat pass zone, it's tough to play that guy there.
I will say this though, as far as that goes, I kind of agree with you. I would like to see better pass ratings from the outside linebackers that are usually defensive ends, but it's hard to stop offense in the NFL these days, and it should be hard to stop offenses in Strat. So I think that's where you're seeing it's tougher now, even out of win, to get that excellent pass defense or the good pass defense, and it's a reflection of how tough it is to stop the pass in the NFL. So,
I would agree with that.
I kind of see where they're coming from.
The Strat game, I think, unfairly penalizes those types of players.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know that in real life they have much, much higher value than they have in Strat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Strat should deal with that in some way. I mean, at least give them a dual card, give them a D end and D defensive end and an OLB position rating.
Which they've done.
Okay, but you have one of those guys. What are you going to?
The left outside linebacker shouldn't have coverage responsibilities at all. If they would move the coverage responsibilities to somebody in the middle, I think that would make a lot more sense. Those guys are not built to guard anybody. Those people should not be defending anyone, or at least give us the opportunity to take one of your guys in the middle, be it 1 or 2, to defend that blocking back.
Sure.
But again, you're basically leave him there, and you're right. You're vulnerable to that flat pass. But they're not built to stand there. They're built to move.
In the case of Johnson, I'm just checking here. It shows 711 snaps along the D line, and basically none in the box. Right, box is where linebackers, where you'll see their snaps. So Johnson should be okay. That does not take away from your point at all, Ed. Generally, outside of Johnson, thankfully, in my case, which is it's Joey Bosa is probably the best example, right? And you've got to have him, Michael.
Yeah.
Where he jumps around, right? 2 years ago, outside linebacker. Last year, D end. If you think starts for you, where's he going to be? It's a roll of the dice every year for somebody like Bosa. You don't know what you're getting. Right. And look, I think we all, Ed, don't you factor that into your drafting? I know I do. I was afraid to take Thibodeau.
If I've got an edge rush linebacker guy, I degrade him in my boards significantly. Because I just part of it is because I go back to the comment I made earlier. Part of the game that I don't think I have fully mastered yet is pass rushing.
Well, do you play in any other leagues beside this one?
Just this one in Spring Fever.
Okay. All right. Dennis, you still on here? Dennis walked away, because if Dennis were here, he would tell you it just depends on the league. So I'm in one of Dennis's leagues that was created 6 years ago. It's called Strat-o-matic. It's kind of similar to this, where again the 28 is the number of teams, but we play with the dump off pass, and whereas I tend to play a little bit more conservative in some of the leagues, this one here has Watt on the line. It has Payne on the line. So there's your 12 plus 2 asterisks. The outside linebackers are Uchi and Nwasu from Seattle. So I've got like 4 primo pass rushers, and I think even the outside guy on the other side is like a 10. I'm safety. It's like a full court press on every play. There's not one play. I'm like Anthony basically in that, just bringing it and saying, okay, fine, throw downfield, see if I care. Because we're in a league where basically if you don't get to the quarterback, it's going to be a dump off. Here, it doesn't punish you. So a more stationary defense makes sense in a league like this. And a 0 on the outside is punished a little bit more, again, because you've got that double counting situation. I've got Chubb on the outside, who's like a 0-5. And the only way I get to excellent is if I, pick up Wagner. So I get the 6 in the middle. But even then, I have to go out and get like a scrub 4-4 and overpay for him just so that I can get to that 29. But the difference in that defensive card, it's so worth it. But again, it means you're just going to be playing stationary. And there's a 0 over there with a target back. I don't disagree. But if you look at the defensive cards now, when it goes to excellent, that flash pass card, the only time he's really going to be punished is just on a few rolls. Obviously, the 0 there, when it hits the 7, you get the short game. But other than that, there's not really a lot of punishment on that card. So
you and I talked about this, Michael, I think on a previous broadcast. I think it's pretty meaningfully offset by the fact that we're in a 30-team league and you have a host of bad pass blockers, even on good teams.
Yeah.
So the blitz,
especially a guard.
If it was just a 24-team league with no dump off, then at that point it's all 7s and 5s. Why? There's not much reason to bring the pass rush here. And I don't know if you guys saw the correlation to coefficients to winning for autumn win that I posted briefly, but sacking and having a high number of sack contests does correlate to wins in autumn win, and I think a big part of that is the weakness of the O-line, and that's one of the strengths of the league is that it's 30 teams and that you have a diversity on the O-line instead of a bunch of 5s and 7s everywhere on every team, which happens when you go to 24.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I was here, I was listening, but that tells you when you get those guys like Bosa and Clowney, they're telling you, Strat's telling you what to do with them. Put them on the line of scrimmage. They're going to plug a hole. They're going to have their 6 or 5 run rating come into play, and they're going to affect the game with the pass rush. Yeah. So don't worry about having a 0 outside. I played in the league where, like against Michael, those guys are tough. If you always have one of those asterisk pass rushers on the line, it does have an impact. So blitz them. That's how you get your pass rush.
Yeah, and you do have to be mindful that if you end up in the 4-3, it's going to sort of exacerbate that issue. If you're in 3-4, and it would be nice to do a quick analysis, Ed, to your point here. How many times does Strat put a Bosa, for example, just using him, that kind of guy? How often does that correlate to a team that plays 3-4 defense in the stock leagues? I would imagine it's kind of high.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, so Strat is saying, okay, well, you got this Bosa problem over here, but you're in a 3-4, which the Chargers typically are. So you can cover your zones if you want to, but put Bosa up because he's up. But if it's a 4-3, much more challenging.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. Very good. Well, good.
Excellent conversation, everybody.
Hey, Michael.
Yes.
Just so you know, we could talk about it offline here, but I'd like to see if we can schedule our game before Saturday or Sunday.
Sure, sometime this week, any of the weekdays.
Sometime this week is Saturday and Sunday. I'm driving back to Georgia.
Okay, sure. I'm usually free after 6, pretty much every day, with the exception of Wednesday. So
okay,
yep.
All right,
We'll put something together, and Anthony, we'll run it by everybody here, so we make sure we get it broadcast too. So
I'm
anyway,
pretty available this week if somebody wants to do it with me.
if we started one early, Duke, would you be available? Like if we did one at 6, would 3 p.m. Pacific be okay with you?
Yeah.
Anthony, I think you'd really enjoy broadcasting with him. I think you'll really like this one today. Not the result, obviously, but I think it flowed well together. So if you two maybe might be able to join each other for these last few broadcasts, and I think that'd be excellent. Anthony does a terrific job with his too. So I think you both would blend very well.
Great.
Definitely.
Try to make it happen.
Okay. Well, I'm going to shut her down here. So
all right, guys.
Congratulations,
Anthony,
Anthony.
thank you
You had a
again.
monster season this year. Congratulations, Ed. He'll go to 14-3, and he will host the Los Angeles Rams next week. The other playoff matchup will be Claude Turcotte, who is 14-3, I believe, and his Montreal Alouettes will host Ken Briere, I believe is 13-4, if I recall. Or they actually may have tied. Whatever it is, they've got massive double-digit wins. These are going to be two very intriguing matchups moving forward. Anthony, Duke, and I will be bringing all of these broadcasts to you. And again, we'll be posting the links on the website. And I'm sure Ken's going to put together a fabulous poster with the Final Four. And again, what's interesting about this is we have Claude Turcotte, who is a previous champion. But now we have 3 teams relatively new to Autumn Wind. So there's a real possibility, 3 and 4 shot, that we've got a new champion to crown this year. But we'll see what the future holds for the next 2 weeks. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining the broadcast. We appreciate it, and we will see you soon. God bless everybody. Stay safe. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Michael. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.
Congratulations, both of you guys.